can Belichick win a Super Bowl with Cam? Because one thing I do want to say, it seems like he's been around a long time, but he's 32. You know, Aaron Rodgers, the MVP, is 37, 5 years older. The guy who just won the Super Bowl is 43.
I think he can. And I want to home in on the haven't been healthy in 5 years. The first time he's been healthy in 5 years. And then also with McDaniels, you missed a single practice. Now think about this for a second. This is from my Greatest Hits Volume 2 on Cam Newton.
Oh, boy.
He was playing the best passing football, I believe, Stephen A., of his career under Norv Turner. I think you would agree. It was at least comparable to the best he's ever done.
Okay.
But his passing game with Norv Turner, he was more accurate than he had been, maybe at any point in his career. He was looking good, and his team was winning. Then he gets hurt. Okay. He goes to so now he's catastrophic injury, misses a year. Comes back to a new team, new coach, new system, couldn't be more different than the other one, right? And think about what he said. Hadn't been healthy in 5 years. That includes last year. And think about what he said. You can't miss a practice with Josh McDaniels. Was there a preseason last year? No. No preseason. Was their practice? Extremely limited. In fact, their practice facility got shut down because of COVID. So they couldn't even practice to the extent that they were allowed. And he had COVID. Let's not forget. He lost that game to Russell Wilson. Bobby Wagner made a goal line play. It happens, right? It was one play away from beating the Seahawks. He looked very good in that game. He and Russell Wilson looked comparable in that game. Then he got COVID. He was not the same the rest of the year. We speculated on this show. Does he have that COVID fog that people hear about? And then a week or two after we're talking about this, he said, yeah, things haven't been the same. Right. That's legitimate. That's why I wonder about Chris Paul right now. That's legitimate. Now, consider this. He was playing on a team that had so few weapons, Tom Brady left and then looked like $1 billion on the new team. That's how few weapons he had, and it's not Tom Brady, it's Cam Newton dealing with it, with a new system, all of catastrophic injury, with COVID, with no practice, with no preseason, etc. Still, 2 plays away from going 9-7. So, could he win double digits with the Patriots this year, considering they'll improve, there will be a preseason, there will be practice, he feels healthy, etc., etc.? Sure. Once you win double digits, you can get in the playoffs. If you're in the playoffs, can he win a playoff game when Belichick has time to prepare? Oh, yeah. Now, do I think they'll win the Super Bowl this year? I don't. But do I think they can win a playoff game this year? Okay. I do, and I believe Cam can win a Super Bowl with Belichick.
Well, let me stay with you on this one. Because we've had this discussion in the past, and I think it's important that everybody knows, we are reminded of where I stand on Cam Newton. I love Cam Newton. I really, really do. I love him as a person. I love him as a player. I don't root against him ever. I really don't root against anybody, but especially not him.
Just Cowboys fans.
That's right. I can't stand Cowboy fans. I actually don't hate the Cowboys. I love Jerry Jones, is my buddy. You know how I feel
that's
about
why
Jerry.
I made the
Now I feel about Jerry
fans.
Jones. That's my buddy right there. And I like Stephen Jones as well. I can't wait for us to have a drink together. But them damn Cowboy fans make me sick, and I'll never apologize for that. Their misery is what I do truly, truly root for. Having said all of that, I will tell you this. Back to Cam. Max, I've never believed in him as a passer. That's my issue. He's been in the league for 10 years. He's completed 60% or better of his passes 4 times. That's it. And for me, when you play the quarterback position, I want to see you at better than 63% before I believe in you as a passer. That's me. That's just my personal criteria. Now, where Cam is special is that Cam is a significantly, I'm not mentioning him in the same breath, Tim Tebow in the same breath as him as a quarterback, because I understand there's levels to this. But I'm just talking about Cam's running ability. Cam and the New England Patriots could very well end up having the #1 rushing attack in football. That leads to ball control. That might open things up in your, in terms of your passing game, because the secondary has to really, they got to help out. And we get all of that. And the defense is going to be real. So New England should make the playoffs. They can make some noise. They'll probably have a home playoff game because they'll win the AFC East. We got to take those things into consideration. But in the end, when I look at Cam Newton, I look at a guy that's in his 30s now, no longer in his 20s, and the ability to run the football the way that he once did. I'm not sure that's going to be there. And even though that could lead to the #1 rushing attack, still in all, you got to wonder whether or not attrition will ultimately kick in. And his passing ability is not something I'm sold on.
I'd like to say one thing about the passing ability stuff. That's a legitimate point. You've always made that point, even after he won the MVP. You said he wasn't elite. You need to see consistency.
Passing.
Yes. Cam Newton, the year he got hurt, when they went 6-8.
67.
But like let's be honest, they were going to do better than that. He hurt his shoulder and continued to play, and they were losing games they would have won.
But prior to that, he completed like 68% of his passes.
68%, 67.9, 68% of his passes. And last year, where he played
65.
most of the full season, really 66, 65.8. So it's interesting that the last 2 times he was on the field for most of a full season, he's closer to 70% than 60%. And now he actually has more weapons than he had and a great coach, and he's healthy. I'm just saying, you're not wrong, but the signs are actually pointed in the right direction.
Short passes as opposed to throwing downfield. That's what I'm watching.
Very
when I watch
short passes
when I watch him throwing downfield, I don't see it.
Here's why I feel like we don't really know who the Patriots are. Well, obviously, if Mac Jones starts, that's a different story. Because Cam wasn't healthy, and they spent $165 million in guarantees on free agents in a single season that has never been done. Plus, they had the most players sit out due to COVID. So we haven't really seen this whole team together.
So you'd expect them to be, if they're 2 plays away from 9 and 7, and you'd expect them just on the differences made now with Cam's health and the players added, you'd expect maybe at least a 2-game improvement. Meaning they could be 2 plays away from 11 or 12 wins this year.
I know we got to go.
Absolutely.
I know we got to go. Just to be clear, I'm not saying the New England Patriots can't win. I'm saying Cam throwing the football won't be the reason why.
No, that's fair. And the AFC's got better and all those kind of things. But let's
I hope I'm wrong.
And let's not underestimate Bill Belichick had to watch Tom Brady hoist a Lombardi. So there's that little chip.
Thanks for watching ESPN on YouTube. For live streaming, sports, and premium content, subscribe to ESPN+.